Welcome to my channel, guys. Okay. My name is Augustine David, originally from Africa, and this is my first YouTube video, and I'm gonna make it short. Not too long, just for you guys to see and kind of understand. I have Facebook going on too. I have a Facebook. It's Hotwire Augustine Salbaba David. You guys can look at it and shed some light on my situation. I'm sorry, I'm not too, I'm not properly, as you can see. Okay. Okay. I think that's okay. But we're not here to dress for camera or anything like that. This is all natural. There's no makeup about this. Okay, guys. What I'm going to talk about is just what has been happening and actually, I want to take you guys from the beginning. This is my first YouTube video for Facebook. You guys can, you guys can go back to my videos and just take a look at it. But for YouTube, this is my first video, and I'm playing with everybody else. All the governors, all the senators, everybody in every state. I know United States is a great country. Children here in this country have every right to live freely, and nobody has the right to abuse them, to force them into any kind of labor or torture or anything else as it is. Um, my situation started a long time ago when I came to this country, and I didn't know a lot of things that was going on. And I was a young man, straight A student from Africa, and I came here, and I was living in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and I lived there for quite some time. For the duration of my stay here in the United States, I stayed mostly in Texas. But living there, I wasn't aware of what was going on, all the abuse that was going on, where my son was living. My son is he's 8 years old now. His name is Dante, bright young man, but this young man was deprived of everything a normal child should receive. Um, his right to liberty, his right to education, medical care, all that was deprived from him. Um, he grew up in his mom's house, where they live in San Antonio on the northeast side by FM 78 on Foster Road. Okay, there's a subdivision called Sunrise. That's where he came from. That's where he was born. And when he was born, his mom deprived me of, being there in the hospital, even when he was born to about 2, 3, 4 years old. She deprived me of anything, for me to come over, and just have a bond with my son. She did not. She ran off and did her own thing, and she brought she would she was one that was telling me she brought so many other guys, and they were not the father. So she brought me over, and we went to go do a DNA. We did a DNA, and it came out that I am the father. 99.9%, I'm the father. But before that, this girl was very troubled. There was a lot going on with her. When I met her, we're not in any relationship. Like I said, we just met mutually, and we felt, we just did grown folks business as it is, and she got pregnant. In the first place, she couldn't get pregnant by anybody else. She had told me, all this while she's been living in San Antonio on the northeast side, Foster Road. She couldn't get pregnant by nobody else, and luckily, God bless us. We got together and we had a beautiful baby boy. But before that, she was being there was a lot going on with her. She had a CPS case. I didn't know anything about that. She was the one who was telling me, her boss that worked at McDonald's used to abuse her, rape her, just for her to work. It was just. But these are all guys that went to the same high school, grew up in the same community, so they are working in the in the area, kind of like that. But she was being troubled a lot, and she got pregnant, had the baby, and she went off doing her own thing. And when I did the DNA now, I had to pay a whole bunch of child support, which is not, it's not anything, you know. I'm not worried about it. But still, at that time, she stayed at her mom's house. And at the time when I used to be going to the house, I never noticed anything that was going on in the house until after 8 years now. Um, um, right about this time, around November, around August, September, October, November. Um, I had I was building a store for my family, and I go there frequently. But my son was being bullied. Okay, within the years that he started going to school, he changed three schools. He was being bullied a lot, so he changed three schools. The last school he was at now, he was being bullied a lot. The teachers would leave the class, and kids would come in and bully him. And then the last time they beat him up so bad, he was bleeding on his cheek, and they sent him home. They didn't send him to a school nurse. So I was at home, and his grandma called me and said, "Come get your son. I don't want him. Da da da. He's trouble." So she went to go pick him up from school, and they got home, and he ran away from the house. So I was like, "Oh, this is troubling." Okay, this boy is being bullied in school, in all these three schools that he's been going to. Nobody goes to the school, not his mom, his uncle, or any of the family members. Did not go to the school to try to just talk to the teachers or just stand up for the kid. He was traumatized. Every other time he's going to school, he's having problems. But once I started coming around now, I could just see that, okay, yeah, well, he's seen his dad. You know what I mean? Now he's got some kind of support, somebody to fight for him. I felt like, because there were sometimes I'll go to the house and I'm leaving, and he walked to the door like he wants to leave with me. I did not notice anything at all. So I took him away from the school and took it to a school that's close by to where I live on the northwest side of town. I put him in school, and we were in school, and I talked to the teachers and told him, hey, he's just coming from being bullied a lot in the other school. So he got into a smaller setting. He got into a very smaller setting, to about like 4, 5, 6, 7 kids, compared to where he was, where you had about 10, 15 kids. And we were in school, and he's still not, other things. And his teacher called me one day and started telling me that he's telling his teacher some things. So within that time now, and he called me, and he was like, Dad, can I tell you something? Then he told me about a whole bunch of abuse, guys. Crazy. I mean, I don't think what he went through in that house is gonna leave a lasting memory on him. Okay. Um, he told his teacher in school. So let me start from there. He told his sister in the new school that we went to. He told his teacher in the new school that he's going to, and I went to the school counselor. I decided to talk to the school counselor, and the school counselor was like, "Well, do you want us to like call the police and do other things like that?" I was like, "Ma'am, there's no need for that right now. You know what I mean? Because he's with me now, so let's just see how he's gonna fare." Okay, so for about a week or so, then he told me, he was like, "Dad, can I tell you something?" Okay. And he told me that his uncle, whose name is Darrell, Darrell, Darrel, Darrell Holmes, Holmes, was abusing him. He was touching him. He was touching his private parts. He would draw demonic pictures and put it on his private parts. He would cut his skin. He has a scar. He would cut his skin, and he would draw his blood, and other people would come to the house, and they would form a ring, and there will be some kind of masquerade in the middle, and they will hold a bowl like this, and they will stir the blood. It was just so crazy. It was crazy, horrific, guys. Okay, when he told me that, I was like, son, I mean, this is not something, I didn't believe it at first. Okay, but he kept continuing on telling me some more crazy stuff that was really, really happening. Okay, so as he told me, I just realized it's troubling. Okay, he needs therapy. Okay, So we went, I tried to get him to go see a doctor. Um, I tried to, just take him to, try to take him to go play soccer, basketball. We'll go to the arcade, we'll go to the movies. I started just trying to reintegrate him into a proper society. But um, he was having nightmares, and it was just crazy. Everywhere we went, he'd be like, "Hey, Dad, that's him, that's them, that's the guy, that's the." And as a matter of fact, the same people that did this to him that were coming to the house started taking their kids to the new school. So every morning I'll walk him to school, and he would tell me, "Hey, Dad, that's the guy, that's the daughter," things like that. So pretty much they were now following him everywhere he went. They were now following him. It got so bad that um, these people started calling the house where we were living, and my son started telling me some things about how people are calling. They're talking to my family members and they're asking for information and things like that. So he told me that, and I was like, you know what, son, this is not cool at all because I cannot handle this. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make sure you have a better life. You have something good going on. Okay. But within all this, I was building a store. I was building an African store for my family members. So every other time me and my son would go to the store, we'll catch the bus, we'll see his uncle walking on the streets, you know. And the third time we saw him, we stopped. We went to go see him. We went to a store where he was standing, begging for money. And I was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And he just looks deranged, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And not knowing that he was having trouble in the store. Like when he goes to the store, I don't know if he takes something from there or whatsoever, but they were gonna call the police on him that day. So I went to the store and told the store manager, I was like, "Hey, that guy, that's my family. Please don't do that." So I talked to his uncle, gave him some money, and we left. And some other time, he called me and we would hang out. But it became so crazy because we would be hanging out and he would be doing crazy things. Like he would go, he would do his hands like this. You know what I mean? I didn't know what that was. And he would just be talking about crazy things, and I would just felt like no, something's wrong. So I went. I mean, me and my son. Okay, whenever we hanged out, I dropped him off, and then I went home. And one day I called grandma, and I was like, "I needed to talk to you." So, um, but I think my son's grandma thought that my son had told me about the abuse that was going on in the house. So she was like, "Okay, yeah, I could talk to you." So I went there. I went there to go talk to her, and I was talking to her, but the way she was, her stomach was boiling. She told me she had to go use the restroom for me to excuse her, things like that. And I told her that actually I'm here for your son, and she was like, "Okay, yeah, well, she'll take care of it. She'll talk to him, da da da, whatnot." So a few weeks later now, actually, that's when my son started telling me about the abuse because he hadn't told me the abuse before I even before we saw his uncle. Okay, let me take that back, guys. I'm sorry. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying because it's been about over a year now, kind of. So he told me about the abuse after I had talked to his grandma about his uncle being homeless. So when he told me that now, I called the grandma again. I was like, my son is telling me some weird things that I die. His uncle was doing this to him, and she was like, yeah, she told me, and da da da, things like that, and I told him I was going to kick him out of the house. I was like, okay. So it died off, and then he started telling me that people were coming to the house. His uncle was bringing when his grandma and his grandpa would be asleep. His uncle would bring people into the garage, and they would do rituals. They would do sacrifices in the garage, and they'll grab him, they'll go snatch him, and they would tie him to a chair, and they will watch him, where they did sacrifices, where they slaughtered babies. They started slaughtering dogs. They started with dogs, and then they went to little kids, little children, about how they'll dismember the babies, and they would send the body parts to the neighbor's dogs, or sometimes his uncle would jump the neighbor's fence and dig it in the neighbor's fence. I was like, no, son, what you're saying is something else. So basically, there was so much going on in this house. Okay, this boy was being he was being tortured to where, I don't know, how could you take your own nephew and tie him to a chair? Because I know if he's saying they tie him to a chair, he probably did not want to do anything about it. Okay. So now I was like, okay, why didn't you scream, or like, let your grandma and your grandpa? He's like, his grandma and his grandpa will be asleep. But it doesn't make sense to me if there are people coming into the house and they're asleep. So basically, I know maybe he's trying to save his grandma and his grandpa, and I understand that because he grew up with them. Okay, but if they could be in that house and let their sick, crazy son, do this to his own nephew, I mean, that's just something else, guys. That's what I don't understand. Okay, and that's not just the case, because there's so many other things. Okay, he said they will bring women will come there with their babies. There'll be different group of people who are from different nationalities that will come into the house. Okay, and they will bring a demon, a masquerade. I don't know what it is, a masquerade or a demon or whatsoever it is, who would horseplay with him like when he was a baby at that time. Okay, guys, I want you to understand what I'm telling you has a time frame. He was in the house for 8 years. So within the 8 years, all of these things had happened. Okay. So they'll bring a demon or whatsoever it is that will be covered in black. It's all covered in black. And um he has some, I mean, his face was all black, but how he knew the person one day, how the person was one day, the person put off his sleeve, raised his sleeve, and he knew that it was a white person. Okay. So it must have been a white person who covered himself into black to just, look like a very scary thing or scary whatsoever. So they said that he said that they will bring serpents and snakes and things like that to bite the babies. The serpents will bite the babies and the babies will die. Okay, and one day they told the serpents to bite him, and the snake could not bite him. He killed the snake, things like that. But it was just so crazy. Like they would kill the babies 5 times in a row. Um, it was just so crazy that happened. And I was like, okay, yeah, who are all these people? Then he said it was his friends, his uncle's friends. I was like, okay, well, I got your uncle as a friend on Facebook. Okay, let me look him up. And then I looked him up on Facebook. Lo and behold, my son was right beside of me, and I'm looking at his uncle's Facebook page, and as I'm scrolling through, I'm sorry guys, let me just, as I'm scrolling through, and he would point them out. It was like, oh yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. That guy came to the house. This guy came to the house, and there was a Hispanic guy. I think he was Hispanic or Latino or something like that. He said the Hispanic and Latino guys came with a lot of girls. And that Hispanic and Latino guys, his name is Angel Lucio. I have it on Facebook. It's on there. Um, his name is Angel Lucio. And when I looked Angel Lucio up, guys, he had nothing but women. He had nothing but Hispanic girls on his page. That's all he had on his Facebook page. That guy did not have nothing. That guy did not have, all he had was Hispanic women. Okay, this is the guy here, guys. I have pictures. Okay, so once he told me all this, I got all this from Facebook. Okay, this is the Angel Lucio guy. If you guys can see, this is him right here. This is him right here. Okay, that's the guy right there. That guy. That's that guy right there. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see his name. Okay, his name is Angel Lucio. Okay, and my son told me he was the guy that was bringing a lot of women to the house at different times. Okay, and there's also another guy called Raekwon Lewis. Okay, Raekwon Lewis is he stays in the neighborhood. When I looked him up, he stayed in a Sunrise neighborhood, and he's had a lot of friends, and all his pictures was just so demonic. Okay, this is Raekwon Lewis. If you guys can see, I'm just gonna hold this up, guys. Okay, that's his page right here. The Raekwon Lewis guy. This guy right here. This is Raekwon Lewis, and I have his name. I have his picture on here. That guy right there. That guy. Okay. So as you can see, guys, I went on Facebook and I looked them up. That's Raekwon Lewis again. That looks like, I don't know if that picture's made up, but that looks so crazy. Okay. And yeah, these were other things from his Facebook page. All just demonic, crazy pictures. Okay. Okay, guys. So as a father, I'm not a dictator or anything. I'm just doing what is right. Okay. I'm just letting my son know this is United States. Okay. I'm your dad. I'm sorry. I did not know that was going on, but these people will be brought to justice. Okay. So I did my own little investigation, and that was how I was able to figure out who Angel Lucio and Raekwon Lewis, who was the main culprits who were bringing people to the house. Okay. And when I started going to the house, there'll be a truck. There'll be a brown truck that will park down the street all the time, like they were watching the house. Okay. The neighbors on the right side of the house moved, and then the neighbors on the left hand side moved up from the house, and then the house on the left was being excavated. My son even told me one day his neighbors used their water hose to, and then the neighbor was using the water hose, and the neighbors asked my uncle, my son's neighbors asked his uncle, why is there blood coming from the water hose? Okay. Why is there blood coming from the water hose? My son had even said at times that they'll kill the babies and they'll throw the babies to the neighbor's dog, will eat them. And he would jump the fence and dig a hole and bury the babies, or he would go to the backyard and do something with the water hose. So mainly there was something going on in the house. There was something very fishy going on in the house, guys. And this was horrific. No child has to go through this. This is crazy. This is satanic. Okay. I'm from Africa, and there's an African child. Okay. My mom and dad, when they raised me, they never showed me nothing like that. In Africa, you go through initiations from becoming a boy to a man. Okay. Maybe you have body scarifications, but that's it. Okay. This child was in the house. His mom abandoned him, left him. Okay. Because when I asked about where was your mom, and he's like, no, his mom is, she's not around. He said one time his mom was at the house, and his brother gave the knife to his mom to kill one of the babies, and his mom could not do it. So that's how I know his mom knows about this. She never called me. She didn't say anything to him. My son repeatedly called CPS, called the police, okay, and nobody called me. Nobody tried to, draw my attention to say, hey, something's going on in the house. And then one time, my son even told me it came out on TV. There was a dead dog. They killed a dog and put it in a neighbor's house, in front of the neighbor's house. So the neighbor called the police, and then it came on the news that there's a dead dog at the neighbor's house. It came on the news on TV. My son told me that. So there was killings and crazy rituals going on in the house. These people are abusing my son, guys. Honestly, as you can see, look at me. I'm not even professional, okay? But it's tough. It's hard to explain this kind of situation. As I am talking to you now, they have lookouts. They have mules. I'm in Minnesota. I'm in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Okay. They have mules. They have lookouts. They have somebody who's listening to what I'm saying and telling them. Okay. So when all this happened, I have police reports. I have police case. I went to 2 police stations. Okay. Shout out to the police station in Calabar. Shout out to you guys. God bless y'all. Okay. And I went to the police stations. And a matter of fact, it was Calabar police station that referred me because I went to the first police station. I went to Prue police station, and they didn't want to help me out. They were very rude to me, abrupt. They just, they didn't even try to talk to my son because my son needs help. He needs therapy. He needs, honestly, guys. So I went to Calabar. As soon as I got to Calabar, Calabar gave my son a toy. Shout out to Calabar Police Department. I thank y'all. Salute. And they referred me to the Northeast Side Police Department to where they gave me Officer Roberts' number. I talked to Officer Roberts, and Officer Roberts, I give the name of the guys, Angel Lucio and Raekwon Lewis. And Officer Roberts admitted to knowing those guys as notorious guys in the gang, like, things like that. And he was going to get back to me. So I waited for about a week or two. Officer Roberts never got back to me. And everywhere I went, they were following us, and they were calling our house, and just so many other things were happening. I'll be at home, and at nighttime, I'll go outside and put the chairs in the balcony a certain way, and then in the morning, somebody else would do something about it. I don't know, like they'll move it. Okay, the people that were taking the trash from the house, they used to take the trash at nighttime. Okay, but it stopped. They started taking the trash in the afternoon now. I mean, so many things change. I'll be at my store. They come to my store. So many other people. I mean, I'm talking about Africans. I mean, people of all nationalities will come to the store. Even his uncle brought somebody to the store one day. Brought a black guy to the store. This black guy had a heavy suitcase. It looks like there was something in the suitcase because he was dragging it. And I was like, come on, what's happening? I was like, oh, this is my homeboy. He's traveling, I think to New Orleans, something like that. He's traveling, something like that. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he was there and I gave him money. This guy, my son's uncle, I helped this guy. I gave this guy money every time I saw him. You know what I mean? It's so strange now that they could do this to this boy. They could abuse him for years in that house. They didn't give him no therapy, nothing at all. And come to find out, all the people who were part of this live in the same subdivision because he was going to the schools there, and that's why he was getting bullied. He was getting beaten. And I was like, how could they do this to this boy? How could they do this to this child? Honestly, guys, this is crazy. And I made reports. Even my son made reports. Nobody. But I realized as I was going to the house, the neighbors opposite to the house, like they'll come out and stand there and talk. Somebody knew, the neighbors knew something was going on in that house. Because when they started seeing me more frequently, like I said, they moved. 2 neighbors from the neighbors on the right side of the house moved, the neighbors on the left hand side moved. And that's how you know something fishy. I was trying to give my son life. I was trying to help him out. Just to let him know that, hey, son, this is America. Okay? If you're a child, you have every right. The law will protect you. But a lot of people failed to give my son help. Now his mind frame is messed up. Every day he goes to sleep, he has nightmares. They follow him everywhere I go. I took him, and I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? This is just too much going on. It's too much going on. I'm not getting help, so we're gonna move. And he was like, okay, and he was happy with it. So we left Texas. Okay, on the day we are leaving Texas, they called the police on us when we were in Crowler, Texas. They called the police. I think I have a police report for that too. So basically, they were following us, And when I was leaving San Antonio, there was a car plate. There was a car with a license plate DD2, a Texas license plate that says DD2. Who's Didi? Didi is my own family member. Just that he just had he had an attack. Like he was playing soccer and he collapsed, and now he has something on his heart, like a machine. Honestly, guys, I will talk about that, but this video I'm making actually is just to plead to people out there. I have no help. I'm in Minnesota right now, and they've come to Minnesota. They've told all the people that are part of all these rituals, all these cults. They told them my business. They are going to San Antonio. They are digging up my database, every information about me for the past 10, 20 years ago. They are using this against me. They're talking to my friends. They are taunting me. They're hacking my phones. They're hacking my emails. I've alerted all the authorities that I'm supposed to alert. Okay, I've called the child abuse line. I've called so many other people. Okay, I've called the police. I've talked to the FBI. I mean, so many other people I've talked to, and nobody's reaching out to me. But these people are just every day they are taunting me. They are frustrating me. They're trying to make me look like a criminal, like I'm a bad person. They're going back to people that I've talked to, girls that I've been around, and probably try to frame me up. Because there's something about this. Okay. Not to say I'm the only person my son told. I think that was his teacher in school. In the other school, he said he told her. And the new school that we went to, I have reports of him misbehaving. And then I talked to the teacher, and he told the school teacher. And then there was another situation where in the old school where he was going, they took two of his friends. Okay, there was a kid named Ruben. I have a recording of he telling me that, saying all that, where Ruben's mom went to the school and took his name out of the school, and they brought Ruben to the same house where they were doing all that, and they killed Ruben. It was just it's crazy, guys. My son is telling me all this. Not to say I didn't believe him. He's a child. He was just not telling me this. He's not crazy. Okay, and why would he tell me? Because nobody wanted to help him out. The boy felt safe. He's with his dad now. Okay, at least he's felt free. And I made reports everywhere I go. If these people are smart people, they would have let me alone and let me be with my son. But they're after me. They're after my son. Everywhere I go, they try to sabotage me. And now, because it's been so long, they're trying. My son is with a family member. Okay, when I took him from Texas, I went to Indiana. They did the same thing in Indiana. They sabotaged me in Indiana, and they took my son away. And my son is with a family member now, who they're trying to brainwash my son to say all the abuse he's went through, it never happened. But how would he tell me so much? There's even other things I haven't mentioned here yet, guys. I'm just pleading with you here. Anybody that's listening to this, if you come across this video, please, I'm begging you to tell somebody, to allow people to watch their children and watch their kids. What they did to my son, this is not no cult or no ritual kind of thing. This is satanic. This is very, very demonic. Okay, this is what they are doing. They killed a lot of babies, a lot of children out there, and the authorities know about it. People know about it. Okay, but because they know it's so severe, they don't want to do anything about it. But you, who's a civilian, okay, you who's out there as a person or as a people, okay, let's share this. Tell somebody, okay. This happened in San Antonio, Texas, FM 78 by Foster Road. Okay. Like I said, my son was living there for 8 years, and they were abusing him. Okay. This is my first video I'm making, guys, and I'm gonna give you guys updates. I'm not with him anymore. He's not with me as of now. They took him away from me. They're giving him to the same ritual people, all these crazy demonic people. They're abusing him again. And now they're trying to suppress my life. They're after me, sabotaging me from my job, my apartment, everywhere I am, everywhere I go live. They're trying to poison me. They're trying to get rid of me. There's so much they're trying to do. Okay. So I'm going to leave it here. And please share this video. Let people know. Let the authorities know. Because there's a lot of people in the authorities who are crooks too. Okay. They take money from these people and they do the dirty work, okay? And that's what they are doing. They're using the authority. They're using all these drug addicts, all these crackheads, you know, man, who have nothing in their life. Because anybody from a good family or serious person, okay, will have a feel for a child like that, okay. No child has to go through that, okay. No child has to go through being no sex slave or him being molested by anybody, okay. So guys, please, I'm begging you guys, please, let's share this video. Let people around the world know that this is what these people are doing, and now they're after me. I have no money. I'm broke. I came here. I was working with my landlord. Was working with me, but they've gone to my landlord. I know they've said some things, and every day they watch me. I've been here. They send voodoo on me. I've been on that 3 spiritual attacks since I've been in this apartment complex. Everybody else is acting weird towards me now, and it's crazy. They tap my internet, whatsoever I'm doing, whosoever I talk to, they sabotage me. So it's hard. I have no money, and I'm not begging for money. I'm just, asking you guys to share this and let people know. Okay. My son was being abused in San Antonio, Texas. Okay. I'll show you the guys again. His uncle was the one that was bringing people into the house. Okay. His uncle's name is Daryl Holmes. Okay. This is his uncle. This is his uncle here. Okay. You can see Daryl Holmes. Okay. He was the one that was bringing Angel Lucio. Okay. This is Angel Lucio here, guys. That's Angel Lucio, and this is Raekwon Lewis right here. Okay, that's Raekwon Lewis. You guys should look these guys up on Facebook. Okay, you can see them. They are very notorious. Okay, they have no life. They have nothing going on. Okay, it's Angel Lucio. Okay, it's ANGELLUCIO. Raekwon Lewis. RAYQUANLEWIS. Okay, and these are all their friends. And you can see they're all part of this. That's why I took all these pictures. Like I said, Angel Lucio has a lot of girls. He has about 2, 3 guys, 4 guys, 5 guys the most, and the rest are like 5,000 women. Okay, that has to be something. Okay, and Raekwon Lewis is the same way. He has a lot of crazy shit on his pictures, on his pictures on Facebook. Okay, just some nasty, crazy things out there, just some demonic things, really. So this guy's abused my son. Okay. His mom knew about this, okay, because at one time my son told me his mom his uncle gave the knife to his mom to kill one of the babies, and his mom was like, no, she couldn't. So I understand why she left the house and abandoned my son. Okay. As time goes, I'll put videos, I'll put more videos to explain exactly what is happening. Okay. My next video I'm gonna elaborate more on this matter and on how I went to Indiana. So when all this happened, I made a report. Nobody helped me out. Nobody did anything. And they were chasing my son. They were following us. And it was just so crazy. They followed us everywhere. And I left. I went to Indiana. Even when we left to go to Indiana, they called state troopers on me in every other state. Okay. And we got to Indiana. They used the police to come out there and beat me up in front of my son and just take me away. And they give my son to foster parents. I didn't know. Just so many other things was happening. I'm not with my son right now, and they are brainwashing him to just try to forget about the situation. And I'm gonna let him know, okay, that son, you told me this. You told your teacher. There's some of the people that he's told that would confess that he told them. And I just want you guys to share this to people, let the people know what happened. This happened in San Antonio, Texas, by FM 78 Foster Road. It was just so crazy, and let the world know, let people understand what's going on. What's going on secretly that people don't know. I'm sorry, guys. It's been frustrating for me. These people frustrate me. I had jobs. I've had 3 jobs. I'll talk about that in my other videos. Okay. I try to move on. I took my son away from there. Okay. But these people are so cruel. They're so evil They are so wicked. Okay, now they want to hold me accountable for my past. My past don't have anything to do with this. Okay, but they are going to pay people to make me look so bad, and now they'll brainwash my son to say none of this never happened, so I could look stupid. Okay, no, anybody in the authority haven't come to talk to me. That's why I'm just waiting because they know. Okay, my son picked up the phone and dialed 911. Every time he dialed 911, they will say it's a prank call. They wouldn't nobody would come there. Okay, he told the CPS lady, that was a CPS lady that was coming to the house. Okay, basically his mom had a CPS case, and how come I paid child support? CPS knows that. How come they didn't talk? They didn't contact me. They know I'm in that town. Honestly, guys. So it's 40 minutes, and I'm gonna leave it here. I don't want to make the videos too long, so you guys can watch the videos. But please, my name is Augustine David. I have a Facebook. It's Hotwire Augustine Sao Bubba David. Okay, I'll try to put the link on there in here so you guys can check out my Facebook. This is my first YouTube video, and I'm doing this now as a course to fight for my son, to fight for freedom, and expose these people of what they're doing. Okay, I mean they're everywhere in every state, because every state I go, they use people who are into who are ritualists, who are into voodoo, to taunt me, to make me look bad in their town where nobody wants to deal with me. And then it's just crazy. They've come in here since I've been in this apartment. I'll show you guys. Okay, since I've been in this apartment, they're coming in and breaking into my apartment and stealing things from me. Okay. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna show y'all how they've been coming into the house and doing whatever they want to do. Okay. Okay. You guys see that? Okay. And that is what I normally do. And I put this up here. Okay. And yeah, I put this is what I do. I put that there, and I put that there should, in case anybody opens the door, there would all of this will fall. Okay. Yeah. You guys see that? You guys see that? Yeah, I put that on the door because I don't know. I've been in here before and I was asleep, and somebody came in here, and I don't know what they did, but 2-3 weeks later on, some things started getting missing. I couldn't find my ID. There was so many other things that I couldn't locate. Okay, so please, guys, if there's anybody out there that you can help me out, you can talk to an agent that they can talk to me, please, because everywhere I go now, people follow me, they sabotage me. Okay, like I said, I left Texas and I left this alone, trying to give my son a new way of life, but they follow me. They taunt my son. They've shown him all some emails. They still talk to him. His grandma, who was in the house, supposedly still talks to him, which of course I don't want to happen. How can you be a grandma and this son being cut, being tied to a chair, being abused, okay, being brutalized, and you don't know nothing about it? Honestly, guys, that's why I didn't want to talk to them. I took my son away. For 8 years, they took my son. They brutalized my son. Let me show my son for 8 years what it means to be an African child. Honestly, guys, or just any child. Okay, so please, If there's a way you can tell people, spread this out, share my videos, and I'll talk to you guys again. You'll be looking out for my videos, okay? It's Augustine David, or you can look up child abuse, my son, okay? Thank you guys, and God bless.